Hello, everyone. Lawrence Fleming here again. And this is another quick video. We've just gone through, well, we're almost through the predicted rapture time. For those of you that predicted, well, good for you for trying. Your timelines are still pretty good, especially where you've recalculated the dates and everything. They're pretty good. And I'll tell you, Barry, the same thing that I told Brenda on her predictions. The timeline's good, just slide it along. From the beginning, I've said that the rapture can't be tied to a Jewish event cycle. We're still in the church age. It can't be tied to a Jewish cycle because we're not in the 70th day yet. So when that starts, you can start your timeline working for that. So what's next? Well, first off, I'm going to say, why do we have a rapture or pazo, caught up? Why are we being snatched away? Oh, I've been working out, so I can start taking some of this paraphernalia out. I'm working out because I don't think that it's going to happen in any time in the immediate future, but certainly this year. My guess is by the end of summer. It could even be next week. It doesn't have to line up with the date. So I'm still working out because I've got to stay fit because I don't know how long we're going to have to fight down here. And fight is what we're doing. We're fighting a war. It's a spiritual war. And God, through Jesus, they're our commander in chief and general. We're supposed to follow their orders. We're not supposed to go off and do our own thing. So that's not what I'm talking about. We're following the plan that they give us. And this video is part of that plan. Be looking, be ready for the rapture, but don't expect it to match anything you can come up with. Again, why are we being snatched away? God knows everything. He's going to know when there's a nice, peaceful time that we can just, nonchalantly just walk to the door and look up and float up into the clouds. But no, we're being snatched away. The same thing you would do is if you saw a kid getting ready to step out into traffic and you'd grab him and you'd snatch him back away from that for that safety. There's only two reasons for us to be snatched out of here. Both of them are because of an danger that is coming towards us. Satan could be coming after us, although I don't know why he would be doing that until after the tribulation starts or the 70th day starts. But I think that what's going to happen is there's going to be something major happening on earth that we need to get out of here soon. And he's leaving us till the last minute. If you see training films for ships and planes and stuff when they crash, there's always somebody at the door helping everybody out, and there may be somebody inside encouraging people to get up and get out of their seats and get moving, or to get above deck and get going. There's always something going on. We can't leave anybody behind. So for us to stay to the last minute, that makes logical sense. That's why we have to be snatched away just before the ship sinks or the plane catches on fire. Whatever it is, God's going to get us out of here quickly, safely, but quickly. It's not panic. It's save the last soul. That's all it takes. So my prediction, and it's, again, a prediction. This is not based on anything that I can give you a definite on. The rapture is floating, no dates for it, but it has to happen before the Antichrist can come on the scene. The Antichrist is not going to walk up and say, "Hi, here I am, let's have peace." Nobody's going to follow anybody like that. I don't care how good of a talker he is, they're not going to follow him. So what's going to happen? My prediction is the Gog-Magog war. And it's not going to last very long. Israel's good at quick wars, the 6-day war. So this might just be a few days, at most a few weeks, but no more. My guess is days. And the Antichrist might step in and say, you guys have got to stop this. If you don't, I'm going to stop it for you. Satan knows the Bible better than anybody, better than the best PhD doctorate that teaches the Bible. He knows prophecy, and he probably understands it better than anybody could imagine. So what he's going to do is he's going to take claim. God's going to come in and save Israel. But the Antichrist, if he were to claim that, everybody go, oh, wow, look at this guy. He can call earthquakes down and fire from heaven and whatever else happens to stop the war. This is my guess. It's a logical guess. It's not a prophetic guess. I mean, God may have given me the idea in my head, but it's logical. And that's the way I'm looking at it. So if the Gog-Magog war starts and they're ready, Iran has got to be fit to be tied. If they could have a nuke and have a button to push, they'd be hammering on it with a sledgehammer to get that nuke to go off right now. But they're not going to have it in time. But they're going to still be mad. And Gog is going to step in. The ruler from the north, most think it's Russia, and at this point in time, Putin. They may say, well, why don't we just, come in mass and not worry about your nukes? Let's just go ahead and do this. You look, that's what's going to happen. I think that's going to happen in the next few months. When it happens, the Antichrist is going to step forward and take credit for ending it somehow, miraculously. Because the Antichrist is going to have miracles that he's going to show people. Why else would they believe he's the Christ? Jesus did miracles to convince people that he had power, not just talk. There's plenty of people with talk. But the Antichrist is going to have to show that he's got power. So the events, the Gog-Magog war, the Antichrist saying, stop this, the rapture coming either just before or right at the very beginning of it, before there's any real danger. Send Christ down to get the church out in a hurry, at the last minute, and then the Antichrist will come on the scene and help stop that and bring peace for 7 years or so, he says. Of course, he's all lies. Pretty much, if you want to know what area the Antichrist is working on now, or Satan is working on now, look at religions that are based on lies. And you can see him working. He's not down at the bar or the strip joints spending a lot of effort. Man's already degenerate enough down there. He doesn't need to do anything. He wants to get the churches misaligned, teaching the wrong prophecies or the wrong whatever. You don't get to heaven through Jesus. You got to work your way there. You got to be good. You can be a God yourself. God's up there to be commanded. We can tell God what to do. As a Christian, these are humorous. However, those that don't have Christ, it might sound good. So Satan's here working, busy. He's working in major churches. But he's ready to step forward and start doing outward miracles, which we haven't really seen outward miracles. There's miracles all the time, ones that we don't see, but they haven't been outwardly displayed. Well, the Antichrist is going to do that. So he's going to bring peace. I don't know if the war itself is going to destroy the Dome of the Rock and the UNESCO Mosque. Saudi Arabia says they're not important. They know their teachings, and they know that Muhammad went to the west, to the westernmost mosque, Well, he's in the 6th century. These weren't built until the 7th century. Where did he go? I wonder whether he really got to Jerusalem or not. Saudi Arabia doesn't think so, and they're in charge of the 2 holiest sites that they have, which may or may not be the only holy sites. There's a lot of people say that there's holy sites all around through the Middle East from that era. And Mecca and Medina are down in a very secluded desert area. Petra would be a better spot, but that's a separate story in itself. In any case, I applaud those that have attempted to predict a date. You had to do a lot of study to do that. Your timelines are amazing. Brenda Weltner and Barry, you guys have done a lot of work to get to the point where you're at. Don't quit teaching. You just made a guess based on something logical, which is what I'm doing. But with prophecy, it's hard to guess. Unless God reveals it to us, you're not going to know for sure. And God right now is not really revealing a timeline other than the events that we know are going to happen from Revelation and Daniel and Ezekiel and the rest. We know these things are going to happen, but we don't know the start. We know midway, but we don't know the start. How long is the run up to the 70th day? When does the church age end? When is the rapture? When is this first Gog-Magog war? We don't really know. But we know the timeline, and we know what the Antichrist is going to look like in what he does, not his physical appearance. That's why we have to get out of here before he starts. Well, keep following these guys, and anybody else who wants to predict, go for it. If you can back it up. It's an interesting study, but I'm not worried about dates. We have work to do. We're all standing at the door of this plane that's going to sink, and we've got to get everybody out. That's our important need. That's why we're supposed to be doing God's will right now and not worry about the time. The time will take care of itself. When the last person is off the plane, then it will sink. So keep working, keep studying, and keep teaching. And just because you've picked the wrong date, don't go into hiding. There's no need for that. What you've done is commendable in pulling all this together. Just keep teaching, but be careful of dates. Unless they're the fruity kind. I like the Middle Eastern dates. Okay, that's all I have for now. I'm going to go back to working out. It's arm day today, so I'm going to probably be too tired and sweaty to finish this. That's why I stopped long enough to do this. But I'm maintaining myself because I don't know when the date's going to be. And you need to do the same thing, spiritually and physically. So until we meet in the skies, God bless.